So TikTok. TikTok is very successful. It does tremendous business in the United States. People are riveted by it. I mean, I have many friends, when they saw that announcement, they're calling. I think their kids love it. They don't, because they don't get to see their kids anymore. But they are. It's an amazing thing, whatever it may be. And I told Microsoft, and frankly others, if they want to do it, if they make a deal for TikTok, whether it's the 30% in the United States or the whole company, I say it's okay, but if you do that, we're really making it possible because we're letting you operate here. So the United States Treasury would have to benefit also, not just the sellers. And I said, inform. Very simple. I mean, we have all the cards, because without us, you can't come into the United States. It's like if you're a landlord and you have a tenant. The tenant's business needs a rent. It needs a lease. And so what I said to them is whatever the price is, a very big proportion of that price would have to go to the Treasury of the United States. And they understood that. And actually, they agreed with me. I mean, I think they agreed with me very much. Yeah, please, in the back.
Thank you, sir.
So that deal may or may not happen. We've given them till September 15th or so. And we'll see if we can have it, and if they can be great security, meaning the obvious security. Microsoft would be a company that would be good in that respect. They're approved in that respect at many levels, including working with the Department of Defense. And, they're very high-level approvals. So it would be good, but there are other companies also.
Secretary Pompeo has talked about possibly banning TikTok in this country. China's
It's something
TikTok.
we're looking at, yes.
Why would you ban it?
Well, it's a big business. China, look, what happened with China with this virus, what they've done to this country and to the entire world is disgraceful. And we are looking at numerous different things. TikTok's one of them, one of many.
Mr. President, on TikTok, you said over the weekend
Yeah.
that you're planning to ban it. Now that you spoke with the CEO of Microsoft after that, so could you give us an update on where you're?
We had a great conversation. He called me to see whether or not how I felt about it. And I said, look, it can't be controlled for security reasons by China. Too big, too invasive, and it can't be. And here's the deal. I don't mind if, whether it's Microsoft or somebody else, a big company, a secure company, very, very American company, buy it. It's probably easier to buy the whole thing than to buy 30% of it, because I say, how do you do 30%? Who's going to get the name? The name is hot. The brand is hot. And who's going to get the name? How do you do that if it's owned by two different companies? So my personal opinion was you're probably better off buying the whole thing rather than buying 30% of it. I think buying 30% is complicated. And I suggested that he can go ahead, he can try. We set a date, I set a date of around September 15th, at which point it's going to be out of business in the United States. But if somebody, and whether it's Microsoft or somebody else buys it, that'll be interesting. I did say that if you buy it, whatever the price is, that goes to whoever owns it, because I guess it's China, essentially, but more than anything else. I said a very substantial portion of that price is going to have to come into the Treasury of the United States, because we're making it possible for this deal to happen. Right now, they don't have any rights unless we give it to them. So if we're going to give them the rights, then it has to come into this country. It's a little bit like the landlord-tenant. Without a lease, the tenant has nothing. So they pay what's called key money, or they pay something. But the United States should be reimbursed or should be paid a substantial amount of money, because without the United States, they don't have anything, at least having to do with the 30%. So I told him that. I think we're going to have, maybe a deal is going to be made. It's a great asset. It's a great asset, but it's not a great asset in the United States unless they have the approval of the United States. So it'll close down on September 15th unless Microsoft or somebody else is able to buy it and work out a deal, an appropriate deal, so the Treasury of the Treasury, I guess you would say, of the United States gets a lot of money.